Good evening, strangers. This is Dear Stranger FM, where your stories matter, your emotions are safe, and your letters are heard with open hearts and no judgment. I'm your host, Jude, and tonight we begin our very first episode with a letter that shook me to my core. It's raw, honest, and painfully real. Let's sit back, breathe, and listen together to a message from someone who felt abandoned at the worst possible moment. Dear Stranger, my name is Angela. I'm 29 and I live in Iloilo City, Philippines. Last year, I lost my mom to cancer. It was the hardest thing I've ever gone through. But what made it worse is that my boyfriend of 5 years left me a week after the funeral. No reason, no closure, just gone. He said he couldn't handle the sadness. He blocked me on everything. One moment I was grieving with him by my side, and the next I was grieving alone. Everyone tells me to move on, that I should be strong. But how do you move on when both the person you love and the person you lost are just gone? I don't know if I'm angry, broken, or just tired. Sometimes I still check if he'll message me. Most days, I just sleep to forget. Jude, tell me, what do I do with this kind of pain? Angela, first of all, thank you for trusting us with your truth. Your story, your grief is not small, it's not dramatic, it's real, and it deserves to be held with care. I'm going to speak to you now as someone who has seen people carry pain like this and come out stronger, even if they didn't believe they could. When we lose someone, whether by death or by choice, our brains and hearts go into survival mode. Your boyfriend leaving at your lowest, that wasn't your fault. That was his inability to face pain, not your inability to be loved. It's not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of his limits. Here's what I want you to remember. Love that disappears when you're suffering was never rooted in strength. Real love stays, even when it's uncomfortable. Real love sits with you in the dark. It's okay to still be hurting, but please stop looking for closure from someone who never offered you real support to begin with. Instead, give yourself closure. Say the words he never gave you. I deserved better. I still do. And when you feel that urge to check if he messaged, pause. Instead of asking, did he come back? Ask, why would I go back to someone who left me there? You are not broken, Angela. You are healing. And healing looks messy before it looks beautiful. So tonight, sleep if you must. But tomorrow, walk, write, cry, sing, but never again beg someone to stay. You're not alone anymore. This mic is your safe space now. And to anyone else listening, if you've ever felt abandoned while grieving, this episode is for you too. If tonight's letter spoke to your heart, let it remind you that even in the silence, someone hears you. This is Dear Stranger FM, and we're just getting started. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with someone who needs to feel heard. And if you have a letter waiting to be read, send it to us anonymously and let's talk about it together. Good night, strangers, and good luck finding your way back to yourself.